Welcome to Quizzy Wonder. Are you ready to flex those mental muscles and prove your smarts? If you're up for the challenge, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay tuned for more exciting quizzes. Let's dive into the world of knowledge. Is often referred to as the master gland and regulates other endocrine glands. The pituitary gland. What is the medical term for the voice box? Is it the larynx, trachea, pharynx, or the epiglottis? It is the larynx. What is the main function of the alveoli in the lungs? Oxygen transport, blood filtration, gas exchange, or digestion? It is gas exchange. What is the average adult heart rate at rest? 50 to 60, 70 to 80, 90 to 100, or 110 to 120 beats per minute? It is 70 to 80 beats per minute. Which part of the brain is responsible for higher-level thinking? Is it the frontal lobe, the cerebellum, the brainstem, or the medulla oblongata? It's the frontal lobe. Which type of muscle is responsible for involuntary actions like breathing and digestion? It is the smooth muscles. What is the primary function of the gallbladder? Is it digestion of food, storage of bile, blood filtration, or regulation of body temperature? It is storage of bile. Which organ in the human body produces bile to aid in digestion? Is it the liver, the stomach, the spleen, or the kidney? It is the liver. How many vertebrae make up the human spine? Is it 24, 26, 30, or 32? It's 26. What is the medical term for the thigh bone? Is it the femur, the tibia, the humerus, or the radius? It is the femur. Which of the following is responsible for regulating calcium levels in the blood? Is it the adrenal gland, the pituitary gland, the parathyroid gland, or the thyroid gland? It's the parathyroid gland. What is the purpose of the cornea in the eye? Is it regulating light entry, color perception, vision clarity, or filtering dust particles? It is regulating light entry. Which of the following is a function of the spleen? Is it blood filtration, digestion, regulation of body temperature, or production of insulin? It is blood filtration. What is the main function of the esophagus in the digestive system? Is it digestion of food, absorption of nutrients, transport of food to the stomach, or storage of bile? It transports food to the stomach. Which part of the human brain is responsible for balance and coordination? Is it the cerebrum, occipital lobe, cerebellum, or thalamus? It is the cerebellum. What is the primary function of the red blood cells in the human body? Is it carrying oxygen, digesting food, fighting infections, filtering toxins? It carries oxygen. Which of the following hormones is often referred to as the stress hormone? Is it insulin, cortisol, melatonin, or testosterone? It's cortisol. What is the largest organ in the human body? Is it the liver, the brain, the skin, or the heart? It is the skin. Which gas do we primarily exhale when we breathe out? Is it oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, or hydrogen? It's carbon dioxide. Which part of the human eye controls the amount of light that enters? Is it the cornea, retina, pupil, or the lens? It is the pupil. What is the body's main energy storage molecule? Is it glucose, ATP, insulin, or adrenaline? It is glucose. Which of the following is not a type of blood cell? Is it the red blood cell, white blood cell, platelet, or the neuron? It is the neuron. Which organ produces insulin? Is it the liver, pancreas, kidney, or the spleen? It is the pancreas. What is the primary function of the small intestine? Is it absorption of nutrients, digestion of food, storage of waste, or production of bile? It's absorption of nutrients. Which of these is not a sense of taste? Is it bitter, sour, spicy, or umami? It is spicy. Which part of the brain is responsible for regulating basic life functions like breathing and heart rate? Is it the cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, or the thalamus? It is the brainstem. Which gas is used in the body to carry oxygen to cells? Is it nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen? It is oxygen. Which of the following is not a type of joint in the human body? Is it ball and socket, hinge, pivot, sliding? It is sliding. Which of the following is responsible for producing antibodies to fight infections? Is it the liver, spleen, lungs, or the bone marrow? It is the bone marrow. Which part of the digestive system is responsible for absorbing water from undigested food? Is it the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, or the esophagus? It is the large intestine. What is the average body temperature in degrees Celsius? Is it 35, 37, 40, or 32? It is 37 degrees. How many chambers are there in the human heart? Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5? It is 4. Which of the following is not a function of the skin? Is it temperature regulation, sensation, digestion, protection? It is digestion. What is the longest bone in the human body? Is it the femur, tibia, humerus, or the radius? It is the femur. What is the main function of the kidneys? Is it filtering blood and producing urine, digesting food, regulating body temperature, or producing hormones? It is filtering blood and producing urine. What is the largest internal organ in the human body? Is it the liver, kidney, heart, or the lungs? It is the liver. Which part of the human brain is responsible for processing sensory information from the body? Is it the thalamus, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, or the frontal lobe? It is the thalamus. Which of the following is a function of the red bone marrow in the human body? Is it blood cell production, digestion of food, storage of nutrients, or regulation of body temperature? It is blood cell production. How many pairs of ribs does the human rib cage typically have? Is it 8, 10, 12, or 14? It's 12. What is the medical term for the windpipe that connects the throat to the bronchi? Is it the larynx, trachea, pharynx, or esophagus? It is the trachea. Which type of blood vessels carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to the rest of the body? Is it the arteries, veins, capillaries, or alveoli? It is the arteries. What is the primary function of the thyroid gland in the endocrine system? Is it regulating sugar levels, producing insulin, regulating metabolism, or regulating heart rate? It is regulating metabolism. Which organ is responsible for filtering waste and excess substances from the blood to form urine? Is it the liver, stomach, spleen, or kidney? It's the kidney. What is the medical term for the bone of the upper arm, often referred to as the funny bone? Is it the femur, tibia, humerus, radius? It is the humerus. What is the primary function of the trachea in the respiratory system? Is it gas exchange, transport of oxygen filtering dust particles, or conducting air to the lungs? Conducting air to the lungs. Which part of the human brain is responsible for processing visual information? Is it occipital lobe, cerebellum, brainstem, thalamus? Occipital lobe. What is the primary function of the gallbladder in the digestive system? Is it absorption of nutrients, digestion of food, storage of bile, or regulation of body temperature? Storage of bile. Which of the following is not a function of the pancreas in the endocrine system? Is it regulating blood sugar levels, producing insulin, digesting food, or producing digestive enzymes? Digesting food. How many lobes does the human liver typically have? Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5? It's 4. What is the primary function of the diaphragm in the respiratory system? Is it gas exchange, storing air, regulating lung size, or breathing? Breathing.